Somewhere beyond the recesses of time and space, two podcasters are set adrift in a machine, picking up transmissions of movies that are forgotten but not gone.
So you mentioned to me lately, Landon, that you have you've embarked on the greatest journey anyone can take. You've started watching The Sopranos.
Oh, how did you know?
Well, you know, the walls of the machine are thick, but I can hear the mournful harmonica and the gravelly voice of the lead singer singing about how, you know, you always got that gun. Mom, I never told you
I'm
about
not that
right and
far
wrong.
into the show yet, but I am thoroughly enjoying it.
Well, the opening credits happen a couple minutes into every episode, or if not at the very beginning, depending on if there's a cold open or not. So I hope you at least know that.
I will say that I watched the episode you mentioned on this show. I can't remember what movie we were talking about, but you talked about episode 5, where they're looking at colleges.
Yes, episode 7. Yes.
This is episode 5.
Oh, well, okay, then I guess
so maybe I didn't watch
5.
the one I thought.
Oh, look who suddenly
Do
knows
they go
more
back
about
to
The
colleges?
Sopranos than me. They only look at colleges the one time. Spoiler alert. Okay, but you watched that episode.
Yeah, well, maybe it was out of order. I don't know. But it was the 5th episode that I watched.
Okay, well, this is... I really stepped on the more interesting aspect, which was you talking about having watched that episode.
Okay, yes, I've started watching The Sopranos. I admit it. Bring me to court.
Yeah, I wanted. I'll bring you to awesome court, where you're sentenced to getting accolades and free candy from people for watching an amazing TV show that's really good.
Free candy.
James Gandolfini, won't you?
So good. Yeah,
Tony Soprano, an
Yeah.
incredible actor, an amazing performance. Gone too soon. R.I.P. King.
It's true.
James Gandolfini's favorite movie was The Rocker, starring Rainn Wilson.
That can't be true.
That is true, Landon. This is confirmed by B.J. Novak from The Office, Jenna Fisher from The Office, and Rainn Wilson himself. I will read you a quote.
I don't hear it verified from James Gandolfini.
Well, Landon, let's hold hands like Thelma and Louise and fly this machine into the sun, and we can go talk to.
We have a
James
time machine. We can go back and ask him.
Then why are we making a podcast and not just hanging out with James Gandolfini all the time? That dude was such a good hang. If I could have been friends with him,
it traps us in here.
Okay,
we can't leave.
James Gandolfini would free us. But this is a quote from the Office Ladies podcast, which is hosted by Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey, and they had Rainn Wilson on, and he's talking about how he had gone to see James Gandolfini and Marcia Gay Harden in a Broadway play, and he went backstage afterwards because he knew Marcia Gay Harden. Yes, God of Carnage. Yeah, great play. Also a great movie directed by a bad guy.
Starring Jodie Foster.
A good lady, but not a computer lady. But so anyway,
Christ.
Rainn Wilson, he goes backstage, he sees Marcia Gay Harden, quote, and I said hi to her, and then James Gandolfini came around the corner, and I'm not making this up. He came around the corner and he saw me, he turned beet red, and he just stopped in his tracks, and he said, oh, no way, oh my god, I don't know what to say right now. The Rocker, I've seen it like 12 times. Oh my god, The Rocker, you were so good in that movie. Oh, The Rocker. So... End of quote. So James Gandolfini, this titan of acting and of the American small screen and certain big screen roles, thought The Rocker was like the pinnacle of comedy. So what the fuck do we know?
You can't account for taste.
You can't. I mean, no, but Landon, what if we're wrong? What if we're wrong and Gandolfini was right? Maybe this movie was actually good all along and we just didn't get it. Like,
I mean, I'd be willing to concede to that. What do I know?
I found this fact out last night, and it gave me this, like, I was like, fuck, do I need to rent the movie again? I might have to watch it again and try and just, like, get on Gandolfini's level.
If you fucking say eat gabagool, I am going to end this podcast right now and shoot you out the airlock.
I didn't say. I was thinking I would watch it while eating cold cuts straight from the refrigerator, and maybe during the scene where Rainn Wilson throws up and puts it in his pocket, I'd have a panic attack and pass out and have to go back to therapy. But no, other than that, I was not going to make any jokes about Italian cold cuts.
You motherfucker. That is shocking. I would be... Now, the thing is, like, outside of that story, how are you going to get an authentic reaction to what people's favorite films are? Like, Errol Morris did that documentary that, or, you know, I don't even think it was a documentary. It was like
It's about Chipotle,
some sort of...
right?
It was a thing for... to be interspersed through like the Oscars or something, where he was asking people about their favorite films. That's where that
Right.
Trump thing talking about Citizen Kane came from.
Was Citizen Kane? I feel like Trump has also said Sunset Boulevard, and people are always trying to parse Sunset Boulevard. He likes it because it's a story about an old celebrity past their prime, and I'm always like, he's not even seen it. He just said the name of a movie that he thought was old and profound. This not why are we giving this any credence?
Yeah, exactly. Why do we give anything about him any credence? I don't know. Jesus Christ, vote in November. Anyway, my point being, how do you get no one's going to say James Gandolfini isn't going to be in a documentary by Errol Morris saying The Rocker is his favorite film. It's only in that scenario where James Gandolfini is seeing Rainn Wilson and having that childlike experience of seeing someone from a movie he loves.
Counterpoint, though,
Yeah.
I don't think James Gandolfini gives enough of a fuck what anyone thinks to worry about oh no, I have to say witness for the prosecution or something. It's no, I feel like I have to say in the bedroom or something. No, I feel like James Gandolfini would be on camera and go yeah, my favorite movie's The Rocker. You want to make something of it? You want to fucking fight me?
Okay, I just want, for my own sanity, to slow our roll on how many movies we mention, because I go and pull all of these for our Letterboxd reviews, and we are on a riff right now where I know I'm tearing my hair out trying to catch them all. So,
mention the movies more slowly is what you're saying.
Or just let's not mention them at all. In fact...
Okay, I'm sorry. Having a movie podcast where we don't mention other movies is like having a movie called The Rocker where there's no rock and roll in it. I mean, what are we even doing?
We've hit our limit. we've hit our vertical limit. Hey, that's another movie.
Put it in. That's also
okay.
Trump's favorite movie, Vertical Limit.
Jesus. Terrible movie.
People said you can't fall off mountains anymore in movies, but I brought it back.
Here's what. Okay, this popped in my head of okay. You've got your Vesuvius, and it's made up of comedians. We didn't talk about Bradley Cooper fucking at all in this episode, but
he's really not fucking at all in the movie. It's
I know, but weird that he is.
It is strange. It is strange that a man who would go in the next 16 years would be nominated for 12 Academy Awards is in The Rocker for 1 second.
My thought was okay, let's build our Vesuvius out of you have to build your ultimate rock band with comedians. Who do you pick as your Vesuvius?
I think
there are a couple paradigms that already exist. One of the funniest music videos, despite how you feel about their music, is the Mumford and Son Hopeless Wanderer music video, where it's Jason Bateman, Ed Helms, Will Forte, and Jason Sudeikis playing Mumford and Son. That is hands down all-star. That is my Vesuvius, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I would probably recruit some of them for my Vesuvius. I think that lead singer probably going to have to be Will Ferrell. I'm sorry, he just that dude screams so well. Okay. I would say that on the banjo, naturally, Steve Martin.
Okay, all right.
And on the drums, this is something that I think should have been discussed more in the episode itself. I'd put Fred Armisen on the drums because Fred Armisen is an actual drummer who has been playing drums for 30 or 40 years, and it's wild. It's wild seeing him in this movie. John Mulaney, in telling a story about his intervention that Fred Armisen was at, said it is very unsettling to see Fred Armisen talking to you and have him not be doing bits, and likewise it's weird to see Fred Armisen in this movie not do it, just like being totally normal or as normal as this movie allows. But it would be great to have Fred Armisen either in the lead of this movie, and if not, it would at least be great to have him playing some drums in this movie, and he will be playing drums in my Vesuvius. So
Okay,
I keep
all right.
I
I
keep
mean,
Fred Armisen.
I like to give him the benefit of the doubt that he also plays guitar, but he identifies more as a drummer.
I mean, look, he sits in with the Tonight Show band sometimes playing drums. I've never seen him strumming a guitar, but I'm sure he could do it.
Is it the Tonight Show or Late Night with Seth?
Oh, it's Late Night, actually. Yeah, it's whatever the good one is. It's that one.
Okay, that's a hell of a band.
Yeah, I know it is. I guess it's just 3 people, but I don't know. I'm trying to think who a fourth. I guess also none of their comedy styles really necessarily mesh together. I don't know what Steve Martin and Fred Armisen are going to do on stage together. It's going to be a lot of fine. Martin Short playing the tambourine, just running
Jesus
around,
Christ, just all
smashing. He's alternating between tambourine and the little recorder he plays in Clifford.
Oh my God. I mean, that sounds like an interesting experimental band that I would go see.
Yeah, and they get up there and like, okay, now you probably all know us from our comedy careers. We just want to let you know we're not going to do anything funny. We are all about the music.
Well, they're playing. This is a fictional band. I mean, they're playing characters here. They're not playing themselves.
Yeah, I'd still take that. Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I got. On lead guitar, you need someone with energy, someone that can really set the tone, the rhythm, the stage presence. I'm gonna pick Sam Richardson.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
On the drums, if we're talking rock band, like just crazy rock attitude and energy, I want a sort of Animal from the Muppets style person. I'm gonna go with Eric Andre.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, he does love to smash things.
Just to balance the scales a little bit, someone who's too cool for school on the bass, Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I was struggling with vocals because I want someone who can really just like take control of the show.
Tim Robinson.
And I was trying to think of like who's a good vocal equivalent of that, and I couldn't really come up with a good vocalist, but I came up with someone who I think has the stage presence that I want for this band, which is Kate McKinnon on vocals.
Oh, okay. No, I could see her bringing the requisite weirdness to make that happen. Yeah,
and that's my Vesuvius.
What are they throwing into the audience?
Oh, okay, I know exactly what it is, because I encountered it when I went to the movies the other day and thought, that's a thing that exists and shouldn't. A life-size version of a gummy snake.
Ah. What?
Yeah.
What?
I thought it was a rubber snake, but it was gummy. You buy it as like a full snake-length gummy snake, and you sit in the theater and you eat this gummy snake like you're eating a snake head and a snake body and a snake tail, but it's gummy.
I don't think anybody needs that much gelatin and sugar in their life.
Agreed.
Like
Agreed.
I don't like gummy enough to commit to that much of it, frankly.
Agreed.
So
but you have to bank on children having eyes bigger than their stomachs.
So you also have to bank on cleaning up some very sugary puke in that aisle. So you see
yourself trauma.
You see Kate McKinnon just lobbing gigantic gummy snakes into the crowd and them bouncing off people's heads and kind of crowd surfing around.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I'll take that. I'd buy a ticket for that.
Fantastic. Lastly, okay, I got another tale from Landon's Tales from Hollywood story.
The Hollywood Crypt. Okay, so
previously on a story, but
previously on Landon's Tales from Hollywood, he gave gum to Sharon Stone, went to see a bunch of movies with Faye Dunaway, and fell asleep in front of Mina Suvari at the premiere of one of her films. So take us away.
This film has not one but two people that I have encountered in my my actual acting and auditioning business.
Yeah.
We've recounted this story before on a previous podcast, but I was up for a role in Witches of Waverly Place.
Yes.
A role that they clearly didn't know what direction they wanted to go until they decided, oh, Jeff Garlin will do it? Because me and Jeff Garlin should not be in the same conversation, even just age-wise, but talent-wise for sure.
Yeah.
He ended up getting this role that I had auditioned for a couple of times, actually.
So did you kind of have a Fish type response to that, like you were that close to being a superstar, and ever since then you've wanted to wizard?
Well, no, because the other person in this movie I actually had auditions with. We were auditioning at the same time for the same things, and in fact, I think he got the role that we both auditioned for a guest star on Modern Family, which is Josh Gad.
Oh man, Josh Gad has thwarted so many podcasters. I feel like on Blank Check with Griffin and David, Griffin Newman is always talking about how he will lose roles to Josh Gad because they want a different type of nerdy little gremlin in their movie.
But they look nothing. So Josh Gad and I were coming up when all of the roles were, we need a Jonah Hill type. That is all Matt is in this movie, is we need a Jonah Hill type.
Yes, above ground swimming pool Jonah Hill.
But Josh Gad, just say this, maybe a little more talented than Jonah Hill?
Could be, quite possibly.
Maybe.
How many Tony Award-winning musicals did Jonah Hill headline? Who can say?
Fair point.
Yes.
So, from what little memory I have of being in 2 audition lobbies with him, seemed like a nice guy. Suffice it to say, I am, to your question, Josh glad that he had the career he had, and I'm not Josh mad at him.
Yes, there, but for the grace of Gad, go I. Okay, that's awesome. That's great. I'm glad that you, I don't know. I mean, I guess it would have been better if you'd gotten super famous on Wizards of Waverly Place. Although also then maybe we wouldn't be here doing this, and frankly, this brings me a lot more joy than that show ever did.
And yeah, trust me, having an acting career would not have brought me any joy, so I am very glad to be here as well.
Yeah, you're very glad to be here, in fact.
Can we start a Josh Gad podcast called Gadzooks?
the Gadcast. Yours was better.
Because you just added cast to the end of his name.
Yeah, basically that's the level of humor in The Rocker, though. It's like there's a better one out there, but they didn't go looking for it. One other thing just to say about this movie, and specifically about the director, Peter Cattaneo. As we mentioned, he directed The Full Monty, very critically acclaimed, very successful film. Owing to what a huge reception that movie got, he actually was inducted into the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. Mm-hmm. So he is a member of the British Empire.
He is a sir.
Yes. So I don't know if he's necessarily a sir. There's like 5 levels, and member of the British Empire is the lowest. So I don't know if that...
Okay, so he's not knighted.
He's not knighted. He's a member of the club. If you're knighted, you're like one of the bosses of the club, and he is just like a member of this very exclusive club.
So Patrick Stewart is just making him lick his boots day in and day out.
He parks Patrick Stewart's car, basically. Like Elton John uses Peter Cattaneo as a footrest.
He is counting all the red M&Ms out of Ian McKellen's dish.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I just think it's funny, though, to read up about the Order of the British Empire, and to then think about, like, when you watch the scene in this movie where Rainn Wilson vomits into the palm of his hand and then slides the vomit into his pocket, know that scene was committed to film by a guy who is a member in good standing of a British order of chivalry established by King George V to honor common folk who bring glory to the British Empire.
How do you think he got there? He's working his way up to taking on the position of Grand Puke.
Yes, it's like how there's like the Master of Swans and the Keeper of the Royal Lakes or something like that. There's the Keeper of the Puke.
There's the Puke and the Putchess. Duke and Duchess. It's a puke and putchess joke that I made just now, and I'm very proud of it. And if I die tomorrow and that was my podcasting career, I'd be happy with the joke.
You just might die tomorrow, Landon. You make sure you lock the door to your chambers after watching that episode of Sopranos tonight. The ghost of James Gandolfini is going to come and whack you on orders from me.
Should we play the trailer game?
Yeah, probably should. Okay, I think that's about
right.
what this deserves.
This to me is the easiest trailer. I want to get too ahead of myself. I don't want to say I'm going to guess everything that's in it. But as far as from a marketing perspective, this is the easiest decision tone-wise to make. You go with making this seem like the high concept comedy.
Yeah.
You cut out all the sentimentality, nonsensical stuff. You go with one of my guesses is going to be him outside the top of the tour bus getting hit in the face with a branch.
Yeah, well, is it no, he gets just the fly down his throat.
There's two moments of it. It was so good they had to do it twice. One is the bee that goes down his throat, which is the funnier moment, but I think for a trailer moment they're going to go with the second one, which is he's out the top and he gets hit in the face with a branch. I completely missed that. I must have been laughing so hard from the first something bad happening to fish moment. Okay, no, I'll take that because I feel like this is going to lean heavily into pratfalls. Yep.
I think Rainn Wilson throwing a drumstick into the crowd at prom and it hitting a kid in the face. I think we're going to get that.
Yep, I will go with that. Is it that one, or is it him throwing his sweaty shirt off the...
I thought about it. I think it's going to be the drumstick because the sweaty shirt just requires more setup a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is sweaty all of the time.
Yeah, it's a little easy... I don't know. Somehow I just feel the drumstick more in my bones.
Okay.
But,
all right.
Look, watch me get hoisted.
For future trailer games, are we painting ourselves into too much of a corner by being too specific about it? I mean, can we just say he throws something off the stage and it hits someone in the face?
Well, then I think it makes it less of a horse race, and it's not as...
Okay, all right.
I mean, it's not as fun, suggesting that it's fun at all to listen to, but I think that making a specific prediction and nailing it, the rush that you get off that's rock
fair.
And roll, baby.
And he is a drummer. It is a better way to set up the thing, a drumstick hitting someone in the face. Yeah, okay, I'm with you. Let's do drumstick.
Hell yeah, drumstick. My favorite ice cream treat.
I got a kind of a weird esoteric one.
Okay.
We have to see him as the cocky rocker before he becomes the kind of schlocky rocker. You think I can't get better, and then I just one-up myself.
Seamless transition from the Gad jokes to this.
So I think we have to see him in, like, is it walking down the halls of the high school on the way to the prom, like he's back in his like out-of-date rocker costume?
Yeah. I think so, yeah, because like that juxtaposition, that kind of sets up what the movie's going to be. It's him dressed like a glam rocker in humble surroundings,
falling off the stage.
Yeah, him falling off, like, so him like trying to clamber over his drums and falling off like that.
Yeah, but that's a big plot point too, because he's protesting opening for Vesuvius there, and that's way too much to cram into the trailer.
But if all you need is just him like flailing on top of his drums and falling off of them, you don't need to know why he's doing it.
You put it in a vacuum. You take the context out of it.
Yeah.
Is this too much slapstick? I mean, should we put some guesses in about how they're gonna angle the story?
I mean, I feel like I feel like so much of the story is going to be angled through slapstick, though. I mean, that's...
what do you think the trailer's going to say? He is an old rocker who's now... Are you going to go with the 20-year period between Vesuvius and now?
I think
and if you're going with that, what are you showing for the now? I mean, are you showing Josh Gad, Emma Stone, Teddy Geiger?
I think that look, it's probably going to be him getting left behind by the van, like the band van driving. That's going to signify what happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
We're going to see a shot of him in a dead end job, and then him getting involved with Josh Gad and Emma Stone, etc.
Oh, dude, you just wrote the whole trailer. Okay, so write down. I really like the van driving away guess.
Yeah, Van drive away.
I like the working with Aziz and Sorry guess.
Yeah.
And
also, they'll probably put Aziz in the trailer, right? Seems
maybe.
like it makes
I don't know.
sense.
I mean, this is before Aziz was a thing, so
You're right, yeah.
I don't know. Though he is rubbing Vesuvius in his face pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
And then I could see, like, he's given a new chance to rock, and then suddenly maybe it's him opening the garage door and the garage door slamming back down in his face in that little slapstick bit as he's entering the garage where there's a bunch of kids that he's playing with now, or teenagers.
Yeah. I mean, I'll put him with the garage door. I mean, that takes us up to 7 guesses, but at this point, I feel so strong about this one that why not? So, okay, so yeah, I have him. Okay, Van driving away from him at the dead end job, him throwing open the garage door to get into the garage where the band is playing, and it closes on him.
Fuck it, we're on a roll. Dare we
Okay.
press our luck? I'm gonna say the bare minimum we're gonna get with him leading these kids is the moment with the parents saying you're not gonna go on tour with them, or him convincing the parents to take them on tour.
Okay. Convincing parents to take him on tour, I think, is that, yeah.
Because that's a great way to get Christina Applegate in the trailer, too. This is only a few years after Anchorman, so... And I think Samantha Who is on TV at the moment, so...
Okay, great. That is the maximum number that we could possibly guess. We have guessed so many things. Yes, it is. We cannot...
Okay.
No, we're not pushing these boundaries any further,
So
buddy.
I also think that...
No.
Right.
If I can't yell gabagool, you can't continue to push
You
boundaries.
son of a bitch.
I didn't yell it. I said it, and only in context. Okay. Well, do we want to watch this thing and see where we landed?
I do. Yes, let's do that.
All right. All audiences.
Matt in a band playing the prom.
Which is the only way he'd ever get to go.
I swear, if you don't stop annoying me, I'm gonna shave your head in your sleep.
I'd still be the
That's an
pretty
improv
child.
line.
That's not a good. That's
Kinda got
not a
suspended
good
from
bit.
school, and I can't play prom.
Let's start looking for a new drummer.
I could ask my uncle. 20 years ago, he was an original member of the hottest band in the world.
Almost a Pete Best came. Oh wow. Back in
It was
1988.
1986, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feet, right?
Okay. Wait. Getting left behind by the van.
So it's... Okay, him running
Yeah. It's the
alongside Bandit.
T1000 stuff.
So many bits from this opening, which, honestly, I don't...
No, I will not buy beer
Don't
for
get
you
this
and your
weird.
friends, nor will I rent you my password to porn sites.
I was just wondering if you'd play the drums with us. Yeah, just for one night. This gig is the closest I'm ever gonna get to ladies.
You're looking to score. I can respect that.
Not bad. Oh, Paul. There you go.
There he is, walking through the halls.
We shouldn't be going on until at least 11.
It's the prom. It's over at 11.
Okay. He's jamming on the drums. Oh, drumstick! Drumstick!
Landed itself a new drummer.
There it is.
Oh, bridge!
I have a way we can practice.
Mic check.
This thing on?
Oh no.
Microphone, Uncle Ron.
Oh my God.
Oh.
It's not a mic.
We're gonna see his. Oh no.
Hello, you two.
Oh God.
The naked drummer is huge.
Okay. This is way different than the movie.
Sound is? That's the sound of the money truck backing up to your front door, Hoss.
Oh my
This
God.
summer,
We're hitting the road. Midwest tour. You heard me, Curly Sue.
My mom's not gonna let me go.
You don't ask your parents for permission to rock.
Okay,
Oh,
so
that
no,
was such a trailer line.
no Applegate stuff. Oh, nuts. Should have guessed that.
For me, it's always been
Okay,
about
so-
the music. No, music definitely plays an important part.
Now I can see it's a wig.
Those
You're right.
montages that don't make sense
Stupid,
now make
and he's
sense.
full of life.
20th
Yeah,
Century
they needed
Fox
something for the
presents a comedy for the rock star
Oh, falling off the
in
drums.
All of Us.
Hi.
Oh my God.
Games begin.
The Rocker.
Oh my God, that's such an easy... The headphones.
Did you just sneeze on my face?
That wasn't me.
What? Opportunity
Opportunity
rocks.
rocks.
Fuck, that is a
Okay.
tagline. Oh, what a good tagline. Oh. Oh man. Wow.
That's what James
Wow.
Gandolfini loved about this movie is the tagline.
I love a good tagline.
Why are you making James Gandolfini sound like Batman?
I love a good tagline. I need to go to therapy. See, everyone's doing it. It's a fun thing to say.
Whack a guy.
I gotta check out colleges in either the 5th or 7th episode of the first season. Okay, so we did, in spite of the fact that we totally misjudged how this was going to be set up, also not a good trailer.
No.
Probably
why I never ended up seeing it.
I mean, there's probably a lot of reasons nobody ended up seeing this, but
yeah.
I mean, so it didn't start with setting up what happens with Vesuvius. It really leans into marketing the whole teens starting a band thing.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't have expected.
Yeah. But really, we nailed almost all of the slapstick bits. I mean, we get... So, like, yes, we've got him throwing a drumstick into the crowd and hitting a teen.
Okay.
We have him getting hit in the face with a tree branch. Just inspired, Landon. Such good stuff.
Thank you.
The van driving away from him, like him chasing the van. I'm going to give that one to us.
You are? But we literally see everything but the van driving away from him.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to give that one to us. It's him chasing the van and him T-1000ing the van, but not actually him standing in the street watching it drive away.
Those would have been wise guesses to make in and of themselves. So the fact that we didn't guess those things that you should have guessed, that you, Truman, should have guessed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not what I meant to...
Look, again, this is why you should cut me from the podcast and get a new co-host, because I'm bringing us down with my poor trailer guesses. We don't see any of him at a dead-end job, which is interesting. We don't... Like, this movie just posits that it's just, oh, yeah, my uncle lives in my attic, basically, and doesn't try to explain what he's doing up there, which is sort of funny. We don't see him fighting with the garage door. Nary a whiff of Christina Applegate in the whole trailer. It's really
weird.
It's really just like him, Emma Stone, Teddy Geiger, and Josh Gad, and then a little bit of Sudeikis.
For how much this movie pivots on the relationship between Fish and Curtis, the fact that we barely see Teddy Geiger in this trailer is crazy to me.
Was her star already fading by the time this movie was being promoted, and they were like,
her
let's
star
not
didn't
lean
fade.
into her?
I mean, if anything, it shined brightly after this, but
well,
not her
I mean,
acting career.
She had one more tour after this, but then like a year later, she was dropped by her label and went back to New York for a little while, and then got back into songwriting, producing, and things like that. But there was like a definite dip where she went from teen idol into just established producer and songwriter.
Oh, okay. I have to admit, I don't know the entire robust nature of her career trajectory.
That's just the age gap here. I was a huge fan. I was at all the concerts. I was yelling like, "This is almost as good as Chicago." So then, and also him walking down the hallway in glam rock clothes. Boom, absolutely, and him falling off the drums. So out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we got 4 out of 8. Some might say we picked too many, but we got 50%.
Never. If the more guesses we get, the more points we can get, even if we lose even more points.
Mm-hmm. That's some real Ibis Clear Capital logic there. I think you're inflating our point scores.
You look only at the amount of points you've gained, not the ratio of points to how many you've lost.
I mean, I don't know, dude. You keep playing fast and loose with the math on these. Eventually, someone's gonna come in and put a bomb vest on you, and but it's actually just clay and make you answer for your crimes.
All right, it was wrong.
Okay, there you go.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. We did it. The SEC is gonna look into you. All right, so yeah, I mean that's the rocker, right? I mean, I think we rocked.
Yeah, I mean. We rocked harder than the movie rocked, and that's not saying much. So
the trailer rocked harder than the movie rocked because there was actually like one rock and roll song in it.
Yeah.
So better than you can say for the movie, really.
All right. Well, let's see where in time the machine is going to be sending us next.
All right. I'm just gonna slam the old print button here. All right, we're headed to March 11th, 1994, my dad's birthday.
Oh, really? Well,
I mean,
what was he doing in 1994 for his birthday? Was he seeing this movie?
I mean, I don't know. I think he had his head in his hands, I think, and was thinking, like, why is my 6-year-old son like this?
All right, well, I also have a clue here.
Yeah.
Let me just read this, get my bifocals on here, because I'm getting old. It says, hold your tongue. We're going to the Old West to pull one last bank robbery before we become too old for this shit.
I feel like if you're already getting too old for the shit of bank robbing, doing it in the Old West is only going to be harder for you. I mean, you think robbing a bank and getting into a getaway car is tough on your back. Wait until you get on a horse and have to gallop away.
I mean, physically harder to do, yes, maybe, but like logistically easier to do. You just walk in, put a thing over your face, hold a gun up, and like there's no cameras. You don't have to like scout the place beforehand for 3 weeks.
I mean, yes, maybe so, but also logistically,
you don't have to bring lasers to break into a vault.
I mean, look, logistically harder to do though, because the money that you get, you have to carry it in big gigantic bags. It's not like just, it's not some kind of Operation Fortune thing where you can have the handle put all the money into a different bank account or something like that. You have to physically carry all the money away. And again, you're back.
I think we lost something when you lost physical money and weren't able to just carry around big sacks that had a dollar sign on it.
I mean, listen, I think society went astray when, yes, we lost the big sacks of money with dollar signs, and also when bad guys quit wearing striped suits all the time, because then if you saw one of those guys carrying a big bag of money, you knew that money was stolen.
We somehow veered from the Old West to Operation Fortune and ended up in gangster territory in the 1920s or 30s.
I mean, look, what can I say? Maybe we got into the gangster squad somehow by accident.
All right, well, until next week when we go to 1994, I have been Landon Solano for Truman Caps.
And until next week when we do that thing that Landon just said, I've been Truman Caps for Landon Solano. Have a great week, everybody.
Just smooth exit.
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpodcast to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit moviememorymachine.com.